You're listening to the CobCast. I'm Cobb and this is the cast, back with another weekly roundup of my previously published stories. This is Weekly Roundup number 8. New rapid COVID-19 tests help get homeless into Dallas shelters. Every homeless shelter in Dallas requires a negative test for COVID-19 for people seeking a bed, a task that can prove difficult for homeless individuals. Until recently, the only test shelters accepted took 2 to 3 days to kick back results. A lot can happen in that time, especially to someone experiencing homelessness. But it's getting easier. Wayne Walker, the minister and founder of the Dallas-based Our Calling nonprofit, said his organization has been able to test and shelter homeless individuals faster than ever, thanks to the new tests. He said it's changed the game completely. New Dallas police chief considers changing how officers enforce weed laws. The new Dallas police chief, Eduardo Eddie Garcia, held a bag of 2 ounces of weed up to the camera during a virtual public safety committee meeting. He was explaining that he hasn't decided yet whether he considers this to be a personal use amount. What he has decided, though, is that if there isn't evidence of intent to distribute, his officers could better spend their time combating violent crime rather than arresting and citing people for small amounts of marijuana. That's why he asked the committee to hold off for 30 days on a resolution that would decriminalize low-level marijuana possession in Dallas. Garcia said he could instead make changes to DPD's general orders to cut back on weed law enforcement. Brutal. Johnny Bedford looks for a bare-knuckle comeback. Johnny Bedford usually points down to the center of the ring, daring his opponent to square off with him toe-to-toe. Not this time, though. Not with the world title on the line and a 5-0 record to defend. On February 5th, Bedford was all business. The fighters threw a few headshots. When they landed, Bare-Knuckle scraped against the skin, slicing it open and sending blood dripping down to the fighter's feet. The way Bedford sees it, bare-knuckle boxing is a sport tailor-made for him. He stepped into the ring that Friday night in Tampa, Florida, undefeated in the bare-knuckle fighting championship, hoping to become the best bare-knuckle boxer of all time. Bedford, 38, is a skinny but braggadocious 135-pound fighter, often taunting his opponents between blows. As the 2 boxers left the fight, ringside doctors tended to their mangled fists and faces, stitching them up as needed. To the fighting world, he's known as Brutal Johnny Bedford. The name suits him and his domineering style. It also suits the sport, considering bare-knuckle brawling is arguably the bloodiest legal combat sport in the United States. Dallas to vote on whether non-citizens can serve on city boards and commissions. In May, Dallas voters will weigh in on a proposed change to the city's charter that would allow non-citizens to serve on boards and commissions, the city council decided. A change to the city code in April allowed non-citizens to serve on some 50 boards and commissions, but it was not all-inclusive. It left out those created by the charter, the redistricting and plan commissions, as well as the civil service and park boards. Report. Dallas police arrest black people more often for low-level offenses. A new report found that Dallas police officers arrest black people for misdemeanor offenses more often than their white counterparts. Presented to the Community Police Oversight Board, the report also examined the impact these disparities have on communities. And lastly, North Texas teen Zephi Trevino will be tried as an adult, the court rules. Judge Cheryl Lee Shannon asked that more security be brought into the courtroom ahead of the decision. Trevino was 16 at the time of the murder and turns 18 this month. As an adult, she faces the possibility of life in prison without parole. Immediately after the ruling, she was taken into custody. And that's all for this week. For more on these stories, you can find links to them in the description below. I'm Jacob Vaughn, a journalist based out of North Texas. Some people call me Cobb. And this is the CobCast. Thanks for listening.